He took my advice as we go into the game with Toby and Gods.
So Gods, we're here, quarterfinal.
It's two teams I think most people will have heard of by now as well.
Well, some people. Most people know a lot of the names from these teams, but never really know the organizations. Of course, Na'Vi, one of the lower respected brands across the entire world. Obviously, I'm trolling everyone. No, Na'Vi, one of, in fact, the most popular team across Europe as well as America. Even when it comes to China, these guys are insanely popular. And then Evil Geniuses, a lot of people look at them as that, well, they are now the last hope for the USA.
Yeah, Dignitas knocked out EG, are the one remaining hope. And it's going to be tough here. We have got a very tough first-round matchup for them in Na'Vi. The toughest of matchups possible with this quarterfinal match. And, well, EG, we'll see what they come up with. This is going to be entirely reliant on having a strong draft, a strong early game start if they want to take down a team like Na'Vi.
Well, how are we going so far? So we start off with our bands. We're not going to see the Bounty Hunter we've been looking at in the last game, because that was played by Fun. It would have been a different role when it's played by Light of Heaven, but still just as effective. Templar Assassin also banned, almost standard bans up against Na'Vi. And Puppy removing out Mag, which I'm really happy to see, because most of the time he just completely destroys fights that never should be destroyed. Batrider also being taken out, which is one of those heroes. We saw his effectiveness up against Ven with a lockdown through the last Surya, so Faceless Void being done. Darkseer now appears for Fear. First pickup, we're not looking at this as the way we do the Empire draft, so don't get depressed instantly.
Yeah. No, this is still okay for EG. They get that strong team fight, the strong offlaner. Na'Vi, something they haven't done much. They've left Wisp in the pool, probably expecting that EG less likely run. They do occasionally go with the Wisp Sven, with the beaters, with having Fear playing that Sven, but right now Na'Vi not as afraid as that as the Demon Batrider. They're going to take that out of the pool. Na'Vi now with 2 picks of their own coming out. Where do we go from here for Na'Vi? Maybe just
Jakiro.
Jakiro. Elsewhere, maybe even Na'Vi can look to pick up a Wisp of their own, something that they do run on occasion.
It's possible, but I'm wondering right now, Na'Vi have to make the choice. Do they run aggressive tri-lane? Do they just leave one person to go up against the Darkseer? Or do they try and go with a Wisp? Do they look for a mid-time gank, or do they run aggressive tri-lane down the bottom and then just try and destroy everything? And if it's the aggressive tri-lane on the bottom, well, we look to pick up our offlane hero and support to start with, in my mind, because they won't want to reveal that fact until later on. But if they're going to run aggressive tri-lane, they don't want to let it out of their hands anyway. That Jakiro is just always key to make it happen. Who it combines up with? Do they go double whammy? Do we see the Lashrak as well come out from them? It's in the hands of Na'Vi, and it's a best of 3, so they can play around Jakiro and Wisp, so we get both of what we're talking about.
Well, they pick up their 2 supports, so as far as revealing their hand, they've revealed very little. They are going to be looking to go fairly aggressive with the Wisp. It kind of shows that they probably don't want to go offensive trial, and Wisp just not a very strong hero to go in that off lane. He can't really do much at those early levels, so more likely than not, Na'Vi are going to go with a safe lane trial lane, have the Jakiro maybe using some pull camps, just get whatever farm and XP he can there. But Na'Vi, EG just have no idea. What do they want in terms of carries, solos? You've got Light of Heaven, his win rate still in the pool. You've got plenty of heroes for Dendi in the mid lane. Havost, I mean, with a Wisp there, you're looking at something like a CK, maybe a Sven. But there's plenty of options for Na'Vi. EG have to be wondering what is coming their way.
Yeah, they might even actually have to pick up the Sven right now so they can block it from Na'Vi. They've still got that 1 extra pick, and in fact, Fear's going to do exactly that. We're going to get Melk's Enigma coming into the pool as well. So 3 heroes. We know Demon loves his Darkseer. Fear, I don't know if he loves it, but he's definitely good at it. The Sven, and then Melk loves his Enigma. Anything which allows him to move through the jungling and farm up nice and fast, that's going to be his hero. So that's the 3rd pickup now coming the way of EG. And Na'Vi, their final pickup. What do they want to couple it up with? Do we go the CK before it gets banned? Because I can guarantee you, EG, in these last 3 picks, if Na'Vi doesn't pick up that combination hero for the Wisp, every single combination hero will be removed.
Yeah, it probably will be the focus of EG's bans. Maybe ban out a hero or 2 of Dendi's if they don't pick up a solo mid now. So for Na'Vi, where do you go with the 3rd pick? If it's not Chaos Knight, you can maybe run something like a Faceless Void. We've seen Faceless Void handle the Sven fairly well throughout this tournament. The lockdown that he provides, the bash, the Chronosphere, great way of dealing with it. You can lock a Darkseer as well, prevent the Surge up, prevent an Enigma Black Hole. Chronosphere is just a great tool to have against all these heroes on the EG side.
Yeah, that it is, man. That absolutely is. The question, though, is still posed to Na'Vi, and Puppy, a man who doesn't normally take a lot of time when he drafts. He normally knows exactly what's going to be coming at him, and it is going to be the CK. It is going to be the CK, so we're going to go with one of Vavosk's favorite heroes, and it's going to be ganking everywhere on the map, stop Sven from doing anything, really, if he wants to go over-aggressive. And I'm wondering if Na'Vi will even look for a little bit more control and put Light of Heaven on that Nature's Prophet and try and go for a full global ganking TP.
Yeah, well, we see EG. This is pretty much ban out those solo heroes. You either target Light of Heaven or you target Denny. So far, it looks like we're going to target Light of Heaven. Ban out his Brood, maybe ban out his Windrunner and his Nature's Prophet. Those are probably the big 3 heroes which Na'Vi will be looking to pick up him. The problem is with Dendy, you can't really ban out his heroes because he has too many. Na'Vi just so versatile. It could be the Queen of Pain, it could be heroes like DK we've seen in the past, the Pudge. There's just no sort of go-to ban for
We haven't even thought
Na'Vi.
about Wisp and Pudge being put together. It could be Chaos on, it could be Pudge.
They could even run dual lanes here. Go for an aggressive dual lane mid, go for an aggressive dual lane in the safe lane. That's something which Na'Vi can look to sort of punish some of these EG lanes with, especially with an Enigma in the jungle. You're pretty much guaranteed that if you're Na'Vi, because they've picked up the Darkseer for the off lane. So it makes EG's lanes weaker. They're going to have that one less hero who can contribute in the lanes. Na'Vi may look to punish that by running 2 strong dual lanes to punish the 2 solos, then have just an off lane hero who can just stay alive as well as possible.
So, Fear, are you going to be 100% right? And we're going to see the bans coming out, and it's going to be Chen. They actually take out one of Puppy's heroes, thinking that maybe we're still looking at that Jakiro solo mid, or, as you said, possible dual lanes, but we're switching up very, very randomly in roles. It would have had to have been Dendy onto that Jakiro.
Yeah, it's something a bit different coming out from EG. We did see Dendy do the one solo mid Jakiro when he was up against the Templar Assassin, and I guess something that EG may be thinking Na'Vi can do. He loved to max out that Liquid Fire and just really prioritizing pushing down towers as fast as possible. Something which EG don't have much of at this point in the game. They can't really counter push all that well.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So if Na'Vi want to go for a full push, maybe that's what the thoughts behind that. Also Broodmother as well as Chen. You're not looking at it as far as just banning out against what's strong in the lanes, but we're looking about that unstoppable push. When you want to push in, you got Wisp, you got Jakiro, you got Chaos Knight, and he wants to come into that, or is going to be locked out. There's the Nature's Prophet ban, but it is going to mean that Windrunner is available for Na'Vi, and they ban out the Disruptor. They're waiting for that horrible, horrible combo of Darkseer into the Enigma Black Hole and then Sven AoE stun. Just those 3 heroes combined together already have a lot of gank potential, but at the same time, Wisp always keeps a little bit of space behind him. He's not going to be pulled in by that vac if he's able to keep that tether just far enough away. Jakiro likes to throw his Ice Path from a long way away as well. And Chaos Knight can reposition after the first vac in, unless, of course, the Black Hole is right on top of him. Then he's in a lot of trouble. And Shadow Demon will be the pickup here from EG.
I like the support. Wow. There's Dendy. Yeah, there is Dendy at the mid lane. The Shadow Fiend's going to be picked up, and well, no real solo mid hero picked up for EG as of yet, so they can maybe get something which can match up well against that. The Shadow Demon Sven likely to be their dual lane with the Enigma in the jungle, the Darkseer off lane. What will be for the mid lane? What do we see? Either Jo or Fear, well, probably Jo playing in that mid lane with Fear playing that safe lane Sven, and it's an Invoker. Ooh.
He's probably trying to look at what is the only hero that can probably stand up against the Shadow Fiend, and with everyone that's been taken out, with the TA already being removed, Batrider already being removed, Mag's taken out, Queen of Pain's taken out as well, they were pretty short in options.
Now, this will be interesting to see if we're looking at the Exalt build or the Quaz Wex. With the Shadow Demon Sven dual lane, Exalt can easily be used to set up some kills here, depending on who Na'Vi have in that off lane. Maybe they even look to completely abandon it, because there aren't many strong off lanes left in the pool apart from that Windrunner. And Windrunner against that dual lane with Sunstrikes coming in probably can't even survive.
Yeah. So what do we do else? Maybe we can go back down a little bit more classic, go Beastmaster instead, and throw him and just try and pull that Ancient Stag. Obviously, a little bit harder because most teams, they can pick up Beastmaster, you know it's going to happen. So Na'Vi, if that happens, they'll have to prepare for it. But what other options do we really have for the off lane? We can still look at another couple of Invis heroes, maybe for a run around. Klink's off lane, not as effective, and a Denying Lich off lane if Light of Heaven picks it up. Or maybe it is forced to be an aggressive. We see your dual lanes you were talking about.
This is going to be Light of Heaven on that off-lane Lich, and this is something that was done ages back and was very successful for a while until teams started being really aggressive and pushing down the tower fast. EG have an aggressive dual lane, but they don't have the ability to push down the tower fast until Malk comes out. Malk wants to get his level 5, level 6 fast, then they can look to punish the Lich, but early on,
Dendy is going to be at the right time.
Yeah, at that point, you're maybe even looking at Wisp. Well, Wisp CK probably not going to get that level 6 that fast, but it's still a position where Light of Heaven can deny a lot of farm from Fear on this Sven, and that's a really nice little pickup. For Na'Vi as their last pick. You've got Frost Armor as well later on in the game to help counteract the Sven DPS, and overall, I like where Na'Vi have gone.
Well, let's see how they're going to run. They're already heading down towards that bottom lane, and I love Light of Heaven's build to start with too. He knows movement speed, may be able to get some level of experience if he's close enough, and no one else on EG is going to be buying boots very early on. Sure, he might have a Surging Darkseer, but that's not going to remain on that bottom lane. You kind of know he's going to head up towards that top lane, and Leejayer, who is going to go cross build. We can see him there on the Invoker. Demon is taking the Darkseer, always the offlane. Malk always in the jungle. Beat is on the Shadow Demon, and that leaves Fear now farming Sven, and all 5 heroes from both the teams coming in. And Na'Vi, are they going to loop around, try and come in behind, or is this just a warding expedition? They're actually checking for Roshan.
Yeah.
EG is coming in to check for
Smart.
Roshan. This could be very dangerous. If they get caught coming back up towards the high ground,
this is very dangerous for EG, but it's smart that they do check this. With the Shadow Fiend Aura, with a Lich Frost Armor at level 1, you get a stout shot on this Chaos Knight, and they could kill this at level 1. Definitely possible, but the problem is they're going to find themselves getting flanked by Na'Vi when they try to go back into their own jungle. Na'Vi are going to be in the perfect position. EG maybe should have put down a ward to cover their tracks on their retreat, but oh boy, this could be a disastrous start. And look at EG's heroes. For a level 1 fight, Invoker can't really contribute much. Malk's already got conversion. There's no point getting stunned regardless. And Demon, well, he hasn't skilled anything here. Maybe he gets a point in Surge if they're going to look to run, or if you look to fight, the Iron Shell is a good level 1 spell, but Na'Vi just have such a superior level 1 team fight.
yeah. We've got Raids, we've got Ice Path. Even with that tether, it's going to let Horvorst get in nice and close. There's going to be a Chaos Bolt. And if Lich wants to as well, he can go Frost. It's a wonderful level 1 team fight for Na'Vi. That's probably the reason too why they have no real fear down here inside the jungle. But EG, we do have this quick pause as Demon just screamed out, leave, pause, wait. Something went horribly wrong. So I don't know if Malk fell off his chair. Maybe he didn't take James's advice. Couple of drinks before you start, fall off the chair, get back on it, you'll be fine.
Well, it was actually something that has changed in this EG lineup over the last month or so. No longer Malk in the captain seat. Fear has been drafting.
Yeah,
he's been, for all intents and purposes, he is the captain of this team at this point. And for the most part, EG have had some decent results. They've been running 2 or 3 different strategies really successful. Everyone knows their Knight strategy. They've been using a lot of the Batrider Lifestealer bombs. They have these 6 strategies which have worked out well. They've really refined them. This game here, though, against Na'Vi, they have to pull out something different. They decide Na'Vi's not a team you can get away with these strategies being predictable. They're going with something different here with the Shadow Demon support. The Invoker at mid, really the one key difference, and it'll be interesting to see how Geo impacts this game. He's going for the Quas build, so it's not going to be looking to be too aggressive getting kills around the map. He's going to be looking just to shut down the Shadow Fiend at mid.
Well, here we go. So Fear already turning himself around at the same time. Puppey, Dendy, they are going to walk in. They instantly see Fear, but tether away. Na'Vi, they don't want to take this.
Chaos Knight has already started backing off to it. I think Chaos Knight was just out of position there. As soon as they see Sven, they see Horvorst not in position. They back off, they take the safer option, and, well, for Na'Vi, I guess they decide they don't need to risk this. Light of Heaven just wants to get back in position to get the Dark Ritual, the Sacrifice off as fast as possible, and Na'Vi just going to play this safe.
You're so Warcraft 3. You're so Warcraft 3. That's right, just call it by its Hon name and everyone loves you for that one.
Begins.
I haven't done that in a while. Could be good times, man. Could be good times. Watching this bottom lane, though, Na'Vi, like Puppey and Arsat, they're not really walking too far away from here. I'm wondering if we are going to see counter warding and maybe a possible gate for the middle. Like, Arsat's going to come up, look for the sentry wall. Where's he going to place it? The observer wall for the radiant side is a long way off to the side. And, yep, nope, that it's warding to block the camp. That is all they want to do. They don't want to be facing up against that in the middle lane. And it's going to be Horvorst in the middle lane up against the Invoker. And all of a sudden, Demon says, maybe this is my day. I can damage down Dendy to bring him down to half life. But then again, Dendy as well can right-click and do a lot of damage up on that top lane and bring down Demon after he's got a couple of levels and a couple of souls up his sleeve.
Not a fun lane for Dendy. The Darkseer just going to creep skip, make it really hard for Dendy to last down to the tower. Sure, you can sort of try time the last hit as well as possible. You also have to tank the creep waves. Makes it very difficult. Puppey going to rotate top, just help deal with this. He's going to go in on Demon, but not going to be enough damage to kill him, but will sort of deter Demon from continuing to creep skip.
Yeah, I think Puppey, all he wants to do is just keep that stun rolling, and, well, if he's able to bring down the creep, which he does do so, then there's no tether left, but searching himself away, Demon, he can't do it anymore. Like, Puppey will keep on doing this. He'll keep stunning him up, he'll keep on the creep wave back, and then he will continue to collect up more souls, and the more he does this, the more problematic it's going to be for if Demon overextends himself a little bit, continues to keep that tether stun going, and then and you're dead.
This is the strong dual lanes coming out from Na'Vi. They know the Enigma's going to the jungle. They know it's something they can punish. They got a dual lane mid, keeping Invoker away from farm, making him having a hard time at mid lane. Then top lane, they run the dual lane with the Shadow Fiend Wisp. They're not going to completely shut down Demon's farm, keep him out of XP range, but it's going to guarantee that Dendi doesn't get put under too much pressure here. So Na'Vi making the best of the fact there's an Enigma in the jungle, and something you really have to do, because Enigma in that jungle can just really flash farm.
Yeah. I also love this middle lane. Just the fact we've got Arsat and Havors together. It's easy to set up someone with the Chaos Ball. It doesn't matter if it's 1 second or not. It's more than enough time to deal that extra damage to Geo, and you can bring him down before that Cold Snap really hits. And we already see Geo trying to force Chaos Knight off the lane, and it's only because he knows the support's gone. Looking for that 2-minute rune, and he finds it as well. Jakiro with an Invis, already looking at Geo, and he's kind of hoping that Melk's going to be pulling in towards that mid lane, but it's not going to happen. Melk hasn't started off at all doing that. He just wants the entire farm. No denial towards the middle happening. That creep wave is, well, it's already, the creep camp's already spawning because he managed to de-ward it. But there's no extra support coming towards that middle lane, Melk being a rather selfish Enigma. Yeah,
EG for the time being just happy to play these lanes as sort of conservative as possible. They've got BDs using the creep pools at the bottom lane and Melk just farming away. And in sense, Fear just having this sort of solo lane against the Lich. Lich already getting close to the level 3 because of the sacrifice, being able to pull that creep wave back, making his time so much easier.
It is kind of crazy that this lane is possible. It's something you don't prepare for. It's something that Fear would not be prepared for. And we see what level 3 Lich up against a level 3 and almost 4 for Fear on Sven.
Yeah, it's Na'Vi just making sure they have an offlane here who can get farm and XP. Windrunner against this strong dual lane and an Exort Invoker would have just been punished. Same goes for heroes like Beastmaster. You can stack the Ancients, but if you're level 1, 5, 6 minutes in, you're really struggling for Na'Vi. Na'Vi want to make sure all 5 heroes can contribute in some way.
At this point, I am still worried about Na'Vi's advantage. Like, we're seeing EG, it's only a small amount of gold and a very small amount of experience being denied. The power of Enigma inside the jungle is just moving way too fast. Where the pull-up from beat is, which means now Light of Heaven completely lost control of this bottom lane. And this was always bound to happen. There's no way to really stop this. But we're not seeing any kills coming out from this dual lane. The middle lane, Geo's been very, very defensive and very, very safe and secure up against this Havors as well as Jakiro. Invis Rune never really found the opportunity for it. Puppey, he's going down river, but he's always got support up here. But it's Demon who's going to be the man who has to be caught out in my mind. This middle lane, Geo is just looking so ready for everything about to happen. Puppey, I think, is thinking about coming up towards Denny and just saying hello by tethering in.
Well, Demon needs to be careful. He actually hasn't got mana for a surge here, and Jakiro on his way. So there we go. Demon gets just enough mana, and he's going to surge his way out of here. But this has not been fun for Demon. Puppey's just been zoning him out of the lane as well as possible.
Gank time. Gank time, yeah. Bottom lane. Smoke going to come in. Light of Heaven. There is nothing you could do against this. Disruption, Catcher. Sven is here. Lets off the stun, combining up with a Maleficent stun as well. And first blood spilled by Fear. Such a passive hero. Such a passive hero. At the same time, Havors initiating on Invoker, Jewel Breath as well. Not enough damage to finish them off, but the Ice Path, maybe there is enough time to do it. Yes, there is. Jakiro gets an answer back in the middle lane. It's still a 1-for-1 trade, and EG, they won't stop in this bottom tower. You said wait for Enigma level 5. It came out a little bit earlier at 4.
Yeah, the smoke around from Beat is really making sure EG get that first blood, but the retaliation comes at mid. As soon as they know that Enigma's at bottom lane, not going to be backing up the Invoker at mid, they can get really aggressive, dive the tower for Geo, and that's something which Na'Vi say, well look, they've just gone us at bottom, mid lane is a guaranteed kill, even under the tower, there's just not enough survivability of the Invoker.
Now Light of Heaven has to deal with EG, who, and they're still not falling back, they continue to go. They don't want to stop him. Melk's got Soul Ring, so they never have to stop. There's always an army of conversions to give that damage against the tower. And Light of Heaven, this is the problem with passive lanes. You can't do anything. Fear's right next to him. Lets off a Storm Bolt. Needs to be extra support coming in from Melk. Looking for that Maleficent stun. Gets it too. It's going to be a secondary kill in the bottom lane. DP support's coming in, and they're a long way over. Puppey's the first one to come in. Looking for Melk, no one's rotating in through the middle lane, or maybe there is. It's Arsat with the Ice Path. They're looking for Melk, and Melk trying to stand his ground. Captain, or I say ex-captain, going up against the current captain of Na'Vi. Tether straight through him. Arsat teaming up together. And that's a solo kill out in the Melk. They defend their tier 2 tower, but again, they lose the Lich.
Yeah, they're happy to give away, Melk happy to give away his own life to ensure that the rest of his teammates get out of there. Havos going to try to rotate towards the bottom lane. Haste rune though, Beaters. No chance in hell of getting that kill, and Havos, decent farm to start things off, but the tower's going the way of EG, at least the tower, one singular tower, is enough to give them a nice early game lead, and something which they can work with. They can look to push down more towers soon, get Enigma that level 5, level 6 now in the jungle, but he's got another smoke, so we're going to see another gank coming out from Malk very soon, I think. Maybe he tries to get the level 6 black hole first, though.
Yeah, There's definitely going to be something he needs if he wants to go for the big ones. Like if we want to keep on getting up Line of Heaven, that's not a problem. You only need the Malphite stuns and a little bit of extra support from your Sven. But if you're going after Horst, if you're going to try and go up the top lane up against Dendi, who, just looking at his farm, Darkseer Demons managed to pick up 14 for nil, but Dendi is walking around with 49 for 28. If he kind of, at this point, wishes he had another point up in the Necro Mastery so he could have the full max souls. But even his right click's a Demon. Ray's a little bit too short there, but right click, Demon drops. Looks like 8 clicks from Dendi, and that'll be the death of Demon. He's hiding inside the trees. There's no back to pull him out of here. He's going to try and TP Puppy. Got to get the other side. Gets a tether in time. Demon's going to be locked. One raise, right click again. And it looks like there is a path to get back out of there.
Wow, I thought he was trapped in there as well. Demon TPing out is not going to work against that Wisp tether. And Na'Vi, I mean, you mentioned Dendi with this insane amount of farm. He hurts against this Darkseer. Darkseer just not enough damage.
Gio's gone. Now we see Line of Heaven rotating out, looking for kills. Moving in, Arsar came at the last point to get the last right click in. And a Force gets denied, but another kill now in the middle lane.
EG are ready to try take it to Na'Vi. Now they've just hit this level 6 on the Enigma. He's got the black hole, he's got a smoke up. They want to try find some openings, but he wasn't going to be there in time to help Jo out of the mid lane. Aggressive ward on the high ground from Na'Vi. Both teams with a ward hovering around this mid lane, but that's going to help out Na'Vi more. It's on their opponent's side. They can see any heroes coming in. They can spot up Malk in this jungle nearby the mid lane, and it's going to really make it hard for EG to find those kills near mid.
Well, Na'Vi's looking for a kill up on top. They want to dive this and get Demon out. That's why the Ice Path Arsar just waiting a little bit further behind, but Demon needs a decent way up. Then he's trying to push this creep wave a little bit faster so they can combine and can dive, because if Arsar waits too long, he needs that creep wave to be in range of the tower, and now's the time to go. Demon's trying to retreat back out. It's like, hello, tether, dual breath to start with. Now going inside the trees, pulling the creep wave with him. Not the best thing in the world. Ice Path and Demon, one last raise from Denny's going to get the kill. He'll pull the aggro, and there's the path the Puppy came through. That Arsar will follow him out.
Well, kills going Na'Vi's way is really going to help them out because Puppy's quite low level because of how much he was just harassing Demon, not sharing the XP with Dendi, giving Dendi that solo farm. So these kills are going to help get him that level 6 as fast as possible. And this isn't really quite the same way we're used to seeing Wisp, that aggressive ganking around the map, using that CK. It's just been the Jakiro teaming up with CK. CK even left alone at mid lane. Havos just a farm. Dendi's been really just, Puppy's been really just babysitting Dendi in this top lane.
And it's working out beautifully. Dendi, we're not even 9 minutes in. We've got Blink Dagger with his agility treads already up. So initiation central for Dendi. Wherever he wants to be, he's going to be following these kills out and diving back past towers. It's going to catch people completely out of position. You might want to be surging away, but it's also a great way to reposition, so you're able to get off one, like if you've got medium raise, go nuts. Then you want to get short raise, jump straight in, get it 100%, and that's such quick burst damage that you're not going to be ready for, and of course you come in for the quick short raise, then you got the distance for all your right clicks, and we already know how much damage he does through that. We've got 4 points up in the Necro Mastery. We're looking at 72 plus 78 damage on him.
Yeah, it's going to be really have to deal with him, especially if he times his entrance to these fights. If he goes in too early, he can be burst down. Sven's gone for a fast drum of endurance, so giving the auras, getting those cheap, cost-effective items. And I think for EG, they need to strike soon. They've got this. They've got the drum. They've got the black hole for Malk. This is really their chance. They need to try find some kills somewhere on the map, or at least try pressure some towers.
Well, kill on the top lane. Demon able to juke it around inside the trees. Now to run himself away, and well, EG they are looking for a tower. It's going to be the tier 1. They're going to force it, and Arsar, maybe with an Ice Path, can slow them down. But with Warcry, they don't really want to do it. Fortification for the dire side. And there is a lot of support coming in. Horse and Light of Heaven. Is he? Oh, man. Look for that Chain Frost. There's still a whole bunch of conversions here that will tank it up if they get close enough. But if that Ice Path hits when they're retreating back out again, then they're in trouble. But they just clear up the creep wave. The Beaters doesn't want to give this one up.
Well played by Beaters there. He scouts him out with that Shadow Poison, sees 2 or 3 heroes coming in. They knew with the Observer Ward, but just getting the constant vision on Light of Heaven, not letting him get into position to hit off an ulti, combine that with the Ice Path. So for now, EG are going to have to play it safe. As soon as they see Light of Heaven go back bottom lane, then they're looking to pressure the tower again. They're really timing this aggression at mid lane.
Light of Heaven now rotates back in towards the middle lane. He wants to make this most of the Invis rune that Horse has managed to pick up, while Fear initiates from the tower, and Enigma able to get the last hit with a whole bunch of conversions. And still, Na'Vi, they want one person over say their welcome, and Geo is it. Geo is right next to Horse. Thought he might have started off with a Reality Rift, but he wasn't sure about the support. There was an opening there he could have gone for. Now Denny and Puppy is like, well, guys, I think they can rotate up this way. It's the last remaining out of tier 1 tower. Maybe either we should move up here or just fall back. Try and defend close.
Yeah, EG happy to try. Just keep on turning turning this sort of, I guess, their team composition into towers. They've got the pushing power coming out from Enigma. Sven going for the cheaper items with Treads, drums up now. Invoker's only level 6, so Giro really needs to just spend more time at mid lane. This is going to be more a 4-1 split from EG. Sven looks to help out the team, buy space for Giro to catch up on those levels, catch up a bit in terms of farm, because he's struggling having faced that tough dual lane in the mid lane.
Yeah, like what's he walking around with? Level 6 right now and phase boots. He's got a bracer in his inventory, but that's basically summary of items right there. He needs an amazing, amazing kill. And he's going to move with Beaters as well as Malco currently smoked up, and they're going to look towards that bottom lane. Again, Line of Heaven, his easiest kill on the map to try and get, but at the same time, we've got to remember that Lich ultimate, throw it out, and also remember what happens if Malc wants to get that black hole off. If Lich ultimate's managed to get cast and it flies out, there is that stun that comes with it, and Malc could find himself with the shortest black hole of his life.
Oh yeah, and Fear trying to just time this entrance in on Line of Heaven. TPs will be coming very fast from Na'Vi. I'm pretty sure if they try going in and just dropping the ultimate, they have to kill him before he casts the ultimate, otherwise his fight can't be turned around.
He's going to be back to the range of the tower. There's Malphus. Now we can throw out the ultimate. TP's support's coming in. He will die in time. Yes, Fear. There's your black hole. Instantly holding Denny in position. And Wisp, he brought in a Vortex, who also got caught in the black hole. Reader of Denny on low life. Tornado will kill him when he drops to the deck, which he does do so, but the remaining ultimate helping to do the damage on Fear. There's that Lich Ultimate, Line of Heaven, buying back into the game, and it bounces back into Demon as well, then back up to Demon. Huge chunk of damage. They want to finish this kill. Purge out, but then pull back out again. Demon will get the kill. The Beaters will be finished off, or maybe not. Disruption, Ice Path. Oh, nicely done from Arsar, but they're not finished just yet. They're looking for Demon, but he is going to surge himself away as fast as possible, but they're going to try and cut him off. They're going to cut him off as a pass. We're going all classic Western style, but you try and chase down a Darkseer. It is not an easy thing to do, and Puppy's going to find him. And Demon might even turn to think about going for Puppy, but decides not to. Straight up towards the top lane.
I reckon Na'Vi saw that coming. They knew that Lich was a high chance that he's going to get ganked. They have one hero rated TP, and then they have the Wisp and the Chaos Knight using that Wisp relocate to just counter gank Na'Vi. Malc thinks he has a big black hole on the TPing in hero, but in reality, behind him is coming the Wisp and CK, and they just do too much damage for Na'Vi to for EG to handle. And Na'Vi, they counter gank perfectly. Havos getting just kill after kill for his team. He's now sitting on 0-0-5 now, just setting up a number of kills. And even with Dendi going down there, it's still a good fight for Na'Vi because of how well they're farming around the map.
Yeah. I love how it's Havos setting up kills for Arsar. We're going to see our carry Jakiro. So carry support. He completes up Treads and Magic Wand for 13 minutes, so possibly not the most farmed carry support ever created by man. But it's working for him. It's keeping their supports up nice and high. And while Puppy is having a little bit of fun, just double stacking 2 camps at one time, both Malc, Fear, and Beaters, and in fact also Demon, 4 heroes moving up towards that top lane. They're looking for Dendi. This Iron Shell's going to wear off. Looks like they've already managed to find out Puppy, so Fear opens up with the ultimate, but Puppy tethers up to his own creep wave, runs through the tree line. They need to get some more support here. Dendi going inside the trees. Fear trying to come and join him too. There's no black hole for Malc. Extra support's going to come in. Dendi needs to ulti this one out. In fact, one raise maybe going to be enough with the ultimate. No mech charge pops out from Malc. Gives him more than enough life, but Light of Heaven with his ultimate doing enough damage. And Arsart again looks for the kill on Malc. The burn effect's happening. Light of Heaven with the frost. Demon's going to go down right now if he's not too careful. Both Malc and Demon on Beasting of Life, they're both going to TP out hand in hand, escaping out to safety. At the same time, poor old Fear is left behind, but Line of Heaven again hiding inside the trees. The conversions are chasing him in. He's eating his way out again. 40 HP, retreating through the tree line, and looks like Geo Invis running away from a Vorse at the same time. Demon as well as Malc, they must be counting their lucky stars.
Wow, EG really playing with fire. Being this aggressive against a team with a Wisp CK, they're going in on a Shadow Fiend, they're going in on Liches, and sure, they're heroes that are easy to gank, they're vulnerable. The problem is, the counter gank from Na'Vi is just instant. Wisp can immediately bring a hero in with the relocate. Sure, Wisp wasn't in a position to do so there, but it's just so risky. You have Chaos Knight coming in, Havos just really in the right place at the right time, and Jakiro, these Ice Paths so far have been able to limit EG's aggression, and EG spending a lot of time trying to get these kills on heroes like Dendi on the Shadow Fiend. He's currently building a BKB, and this BKB once up is going to really cause a lot of problems for EG.
Yeah. And I just saw Peters on that top lane. You were commenting about his Shadow Poison before, and he did it just again. Arsar was thinking about a kill on the top lane with a Vorse, and if he came it any further, it could have been one. And look at Dendi. This is the only way he's finding his cash. This stack, man, it's... Well, this is what Puppy... And now even Line of Heaven's helping him out as well.
As far as cash goes, it's Na'Vi just dominating the CS charts. You've got Dendi with 120 creep kills, Chaos Knight with 80, and the highest for EG is 54. There's a huge disparity between the two teams as far as last hits go, and EG making up for that with Tower Gold for the time being.
And Na'Vi is just pulling so much in, and Tower Gold makes it up, but the way we can always look at Towers, it's just basically gold you haven't claimed yet. And when you have a lineup that can push at the speed that you can see, like an SF can nuke a creep wave down Phantasm, we know what can happen, especially once a Manta Style comes up. Rax don't stand a chance against that, and you've got the Liquid Fire helping you out, you've got Ice Path to cover you up, and then you can have Frost Armor in case anybody jumps in on you. Life is generally pretty good once you get to that level, but you've got to get to that level. And at this point, Sven's still 3 for 2. Fierce finding his farm, not amazing. In fact, he's 60 for 12, while Dendy, obviously he's farming up the jungle, but he's 140 CS for 42. And we're 16 minutes into the game.
Yeah, like you say, a lot of those neutrals, but some of those are big neutrals. They stack this big camp for him. Dendy is just ridiculously farmed. He's got this Mithril Hammer. We'll be seeing that BKB up in the next couple of minutes, and EG just do not have any sort of similar item growth on their heroes. They really need to fight now, because if they wait too long, Na'Vi are just going to continue to get out of control. They've gone for the fast mech on Malk, which kind of shows that they want to be aggressive now. They've been going under towers, taking fights, not going for a later game BKB Blink combo. I think EG have to keep on fighting. I just think they're waiting out for the BKB on Fear, which isn't going to be coming fast enough because of his lack of farm.
Yeah, agreed. And because they don't control this lane anymore. In fact, the bottom lane taking out that tier 1 tower is hurting them more than anything else, because Light of Heaven, he's sacrificing everything. He's pulling these creep waves back bit by bit. And because of this, he farms on top of the tier 2 tower, and Fear can't come in that close, because the second he does, Wisp TP. You got so much support that can come in at a moment's notice, and this is always the problem of Wisp. This is the reason why we're talking about Wisp. He's not powerful himself. He's powerful with the combos that are created.
Yeah, and this is, I mean, you look at Fierce CS, and it's entirely because of this Lich. In the laning stage, denying all the farm, and like you mentioned, Lich has been spending time at this tier 2 tower farming for so long. The only thing EG can maybe do to punish this is gather up 4 or 5 heroes and go for a tower push. They can't gank Lich with 2 or 3 heroes. Sure, they kill him, but the counter gank immediately comes in with Wisp +1, maybe a TP.
How about 4 heroes? Can he kill him with 4 heroes?
They can kill him with 4 heroes, but the problem is, there's the counter gank. So I think EG's safest option is to just go for a push here, which is what they're doing here. They're grouping up 5 heroes at bottom lane. They'll get this tier 2 tower unless Na'Vi retaliate.
They're retaliating. Avorce is already in. Disruption. Nice black hole. 2 caught in, but there's the Lich Ultimate going to bounce around, cancelling off instantly. Avorce, 1 charge, is able to get that Phantasm off. They're going to find the real one. He's opening up, and actually it's Fear killing off Avorce. Puppey already dying very quickly, and they take the tier 2 tower. Dendy's on the run back at it, and again, Shadow Poison keeping a very close tab on the retreating Na'Vi.
This is what EG need to do. They need to take the fight now. Na'Vi is a team that you can't give space to farm when they're already in such a good position as far as items go. Fear, sure, he hasn't got BKB, but he can just do wonders. Even with just a second channel off that black hole, they did enough damage during that. They've got the follow-up from Demon with the Vacuum, the Iron Shell damage, and Invoker. At this point, level 9, the Tornado EMP can really hurt a lot of these Na'Vi heroes. Chaos Knight, especially with a low mana pool, can really suffer against a Quas Wex Invoker.
The one thing I'm concerned though, like EG, that was a great fight for them. That was absolutely fantastic. But I'm still looking at the big level difference. I cannot stop looking at this experience graph, which is so different to our gold graph, just because the towers have been claimed. But it's 7,000 experience in favor of Na'Vi. So even though EG win this fight and they get a good chunk of experience from that, where's it all go to? Like, how much are we still looking at coming in for Na'Vi?
Yeah.
The levels are coming up. Shadow Fiend's already got level 2 ultimate. He's almost maxed out the presence of the Dark Lord. Just one more point in that little sucker. And we're looking at an insanely strong Shadow Fiend. 12 points up on Chaos Knight. Already 2 points up in that crit. 2 points up in Phantasm. He's insanely strong, especially when combined up with that Wisp. How do you try and deal with this?
Well, those 2 heroes is basically what Na'Vi are banking on, because Na'Vi essentially have 3 support heroes here going into the late game, which 3 support heroes who don't offer a huge amount as far as crowd control and AoE teamfight. Sure, Jakiro is great, but the later the game goes, he's not going to be doing a huge amount of damage or having an impact on the teamfight as much as an Enigma does, or a Darkseer. And for them, that's something which Na'Vi have to be wary of. Their late game, sure, they've got 2 heroes out farming EG, but their 3 support heroes are not the best late game supports.
I'm kind of seeing right now what EG always love to do. We see it with so many Svens. What do you do when you have a Sven that's falling a little bit behind everybody else? Massively stack up a crap ton of Ancients. Stack up every single possible camp you can do. At this point, we've got 2 sets of Golems, in fact 3 sets of Golems, as well as one set of the Lizards. And when Fear moves over there, after his BKB is done, which is only 100 gold away now, still needs the Mask of Madness to be effective, and he hasn't put any points in cleave whatsoever.
Yeah.
So until he gets that, he can't really make the most of these Ancients, but when he does, we get a massive boost. And if he wins any kind of team fight and then comes and picks that up, the gap will just get massive, and Fear will then be the most powerful man during the fights. Both Vorst and Denny can do absolutely nothing against him then.
There'll be sort of a 5-10 minute window where EG are just going to be untouchable in these team fights because of fear. He gets his first point in cleave. Now, interesting that EG have been fighting a lot and they haven't been going for that cleave build early on. A lot of Svens have been sort of mixing it up with 2 or 3 in Warcry, 2 or 3 in cleave, and I think he could have benefited a bit more from having some early points there because of how much EG have been diving under towers, taking these tough fights, and having that extra spill damage will help him out. He will have it now. Coming up soon, and he needs that to deal with these Ancients. And Na'Vi, well, they have it around the Roshan pit. They want to take this. Dendi has snuck his way in there, and it looks like EG, they're not responding immediately. They are grouping up around the mid lane, and I think they're not really anticipating this Roshan, at least not right now.
Well, now they just saw Vorst run in. They've got to be anticipating. He already left the Chaos Bomb, and he's going to pray that EG doesn't initiate in the next 6 seconds. And I'm wondering if Arslan just remain outside, use the ice path, lock him out. There's that Shadow Poison scouting out again, but Roshan is basically dead. EG, they can't get in there in time to stop it, and Shadow Fiend is killed by the Dire. SF is the one who takes the Aegis, the Immortal, and EG, they back off.
Well, EG, this is not a good sign for them, having an unkillable SF at this point in the game. Blink, BKB, Aegis now as well on Dendi, and Na'Vi can try to start pressuring some of these tier 1 towers, these invested gold, which they haven't yet taken.
Well, they're going to try in the tier 1 tower, but they're going to get very, very quick surprise. Probably the main reason why EG didn't want to fight that, Fear wasn't there. Fear was back at base picking up his BKB. Wasn't letting the courier deliver it for him, so he went all the way back to base. Vorst is already checking out, just using that haste rune to scout up in the high ground, because Goddess also picked up the regen rune from the top. So he's feeling very, very happy.
And look at all this just map control around the Roshan pit, around the mid lane. Na'Vi have sentry wards absolutely everywhere. I mean, sure, it's useful against the Invoke, but more than anything, they want to deny EG of any vision, make it hard for EG to find pickoffs. Even just landing a Tornado EMP can be crippling for Chaos Knight, but without vision onto the high ground, having that sentry ward there to make sure making sure EG cannot see them wherever they're at, makes it really hard for EG to defend these towers if they can't hit those pre-fight Tornado EMPs.
They're completely split up, so they can't actually get hit by it anyway. Heroes looking at the top, Heroes looking at the bottom, and Na'Vi realize this is a stalemate. They fall out, we go back to stacking, we go back to farming. Vorst goes up towards the top lane where there's a decent creep wave for him to farm. And he'll be happy to take all of it. It's going to be a lot of money for him. And Denny back into farming up the jungle. He got Blink BKB done up on Denny for 24 minutes in. And having that Aegis the Immortal. And still having another 2.1k in his bank account. So much for him. Geo, we look at him, and we got Invoker with 4 staff and a Bracer. Beatties at least has the Urn. Darkseer. Is that a full... Yeah, that's actually a full pipe now out for Demon. He's got some really amazing farm.
EG's time to strike is coming soon, with the BKB on Malk just, what, 600 gold away? Pipe about a couple hundred gold away for Demon. So with Pipe, BKB, Enigma guaranteeing a decent Black Hole, unless Lich Ultimate probably going to be saved. That's really the problem for Malk, is that this Lich Ultimate with such a long casting range is just going to be saved to make sure they can cancel the Black Hole. But regardless, a BKB is going to be up on him. Pipe and Mech is going to negate the Shadow Fiend damage ultimate. So Na'Vi could be finding themselves having to avoid teamfights for a period of time very soon.
Again, have we actually even seen SF pop an ultimate apart from in death? I don't think I've seen a single time when Denny's let it rip.
Yeah. It's going to be tough for EG. They're trying to defend this bottom lane. They've actually got 5 heroes positioned here. Dendi on the front lines, but he's with BKB Blink. There's no way you can kill him. Even if you pop the Aegis, he can blink out after he respawns, and EG know that it's most likely a trap. There's going to be heroes just sitting behind him, keeping him alive.
Well, he keeps getting Frost Armor, so there's definitely someone else behind him. And a Vorst and Wisp just keep on pushing out the other lanes in the meantime. Even Poppy's starting to de-ward while he's in the neighborhood, may as well.
Yeah.
But he can bring a Vorst in at a moment's notice.
EG are just playing blind. They have not got any wards up at the moment. Beatties does have a couple on his hero, but he's just stuck at this bottom lane, sitting behind this tower. They can't move out, and this is really the problem. EG are being very limited with their movement around the map. They're having to stick to their towers, stick together. They can't push out the lanes. They can't get down offensive wards or wards on the other side of the map unless they push out the lane, something which they're just struggling to find the opportunities to do.
Waiting for Wiz just to jump in behind this tier 1 tower. EG are trying to set up the trap, but they've got the problem that Fear is going to have to TP in. And the instant TP that basically comes from the Wisp ulti when Na'Vi are happy to initiate. Something they won't be able to deal with, but it looks like Na'Vi are also, well, they don't want to force it too much. They almost it's like they want EG to move away from the tower. And EG have no desire to do that at all.
They know one misplaced Wisp ulti with the Chaos Knight can lead to disaster. The mech, the pipe can keep EG alive, and the Black Hole can just turn it around very quickly. If Lich can't get in there immediately to cancel with an ulti, if Wisp and CK TP too far in, then the fight gets turned around. Even if the Lich ulti comes in, just 1 second, maybe 1.5 seconds of a channeled Black Hole can just turn for disaster for Na'Vi.
This is the time. This is the time. Tethering got to go. The EMP Tornado, and that's going to be the BKB. Phantasm as well. They're looking for Geo, but he 4-stamps away, and then straight on top of Belk. He can get that Black Hole off. Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. He's trying to limp himself away, and it actually is Fear with his own BKB. Tether is there, but it will be her force going down, and Puppy, he ulties out, but I'm going to tell you, Puppy, you got to come back. They did take the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. The Puppy will return in 3, 2, 1. It's over, man. Nail him. Dead. Fear with a double kill.
And this is just the power of EG's items right now. The mech, the pipe kept Malk alive, even without casting a Black Hole, just not giving that kill to EG. They turn it around with the TPs in. Na'Vi do take the bottom tier 1 tower by the looks of things, and they're going to try just making trades wherever possible. Sure, they lose the Chaos Knight Wisp at mid lane, but it's Dendi getting more farm, continuing to accelerate. He's going to have that match set up very, very soon. And for Na'Vi, it's just this late game strategy with the Chaos Knight and Shadow Fiend, which they're trying to use as well as possible. For EG, it's all about this big team fight.
I love the fact that we've got BDS already on the mark now, looking for any kind of warding from Na'Vi, but most of their wards have already timed out. They've only got one left on that lane, up on the high ground watching the Ancient stack, and one on the bottom lane watching the transition into that bottom lane. We said 11 for 11, and what you're talking about team fight too, just realized too, Mel, BKB. BKB coming up on him, so maybe another reason why he didn't want to pop that Black Hole during that engagement. Thought, you know what, we've still got this, we're not going to get more if I pop this Black Hole, and BKB Black Hole to follow up directly after, a lot more important. And
here's your Mask of Madness for Fear. He's going to maybe come deal with this Ancient stack very soon. He has got 3 points in the cleave, more than enough to take this out with an ultimate. And Demon are going to keep on stacking it. Beaters D wards it. This is the beauty of winning that fight, or at least getting those 2 kills at mid lane. It's given EG opportunity to get back some map control. They're the ones now with Sentry wards all down the river, D-warding whatever Na'Vi put up. They've got wards around the middle lane as well as the bottom river, and Na'Vi now can't really contest that Ancient stack. They don't know when Fear's going to try and do it. They're playing a lot more blind, and Na'Vi going to be slightly more discomfortable as a result of this.
Yep. And EG. Everyone in the middle lane. They really want to force the middle lane down to a tier 2 tower. But again, Puppy and CK, they push out an off lane. They're still getting more farm. Every single time EG group up like this, they're still giving advantage to Na'Vi. Even if they take this tier 2 tower in the middle lane, we've still got farm happening on the top lane. We've still got the possibility for a couple of kills. No advantage has ever been given to EG as far as gold and a large amount of experience during these engagements. It keeps on heading down and down and down. Now, Dendi's really thinking about blinking and BKBing. Maybe one race, thought about it for a moment, held it out, and the tier 2 tower goes down.
And look at this from Dendi, going for a Desolate. He wants to just be able to rip through these heroes when they pop BKB. He knows he can't rely on magic damage. He wants additional minus armor. And with that, I mean, Sven, he has got the Warcry, which does give a bunch of bonus armor, but he's going to try and negate that as much as possible with the Aura combined with a Desolate and just some big right-click damage.
And that's going to be a very, very quick dead Sven. Not even just Sven. Go through anybody, be Enigma, be a Demon, doesn't really care as long as he can get those kills down. Everyone really has enough life that they can tank up most, apart from BDS. BDS is just flimsy. He'll go down pretty damn fast if Denny ever finds him open. But Denny needs to finish up the recipe money. He needs to get to that 1200 or else we're not going to see that Desolator. He doesn't have enough item slots to accommodate it. Maybe one Mithril Hammer and that's all. So Na'Vi needs to stall a little bit of time until he's ready. But at the same time, what are we seeing for Revorce? He's actually got full, not full heart. Yeah, that would have been amazing. He's got a Reaver. So Reaver now for 30 minutes into the game. Not absolutely amazing for Revorce. In fact, he's a long way behind where he'd normally be with this. But the Desolator's up for Dendi. They've got tank ability for Chaos Knight, sitting at 2.4k worth of life. Light of Heaven, level 2 ultimate for him now. And looks like Na'Vi, they just want to go. They got smoke on Puppy, but they're not even waiting for it. Radiant's got Sentry, was looking for it anyway.
Yeah, and EG, I mean, they're smoked up. They're looking to go down this mid lane. Fear's picked up his Crystals. He's going to start building up that crit. And he's sort of just staying on par with the Chaos Knight and Shadow Fiend. And that's really the big difference between the two teams as far as carries go. Na'Vi have the two strong ones with both Shadow Fiend and Chaos Knight. Chaos Knight can provide the frontline tank for the Shadow Fiend so he doesn't get focused down too fast. For EG, it's all about the Sven come late game as far as carries go, but EG have the better supporting crew. They have got the Black Hole, they've got the Darkseer vacuum wall, and even Invoker, come late game, he can provide a great toolbox of skills as well.
And Assad, he's really defensive on that high ground. Then he's blinking out, looking for anybody. Would love to find one hero out of position. Beaters already got the one more for the Radiant side. Would have seen that smoke. Would have definitely seen that smoke. The pings are coming out from Puppey, asking him to go over down that lane. And it's going to come in pretty nicely. Beaters, Sentry Ward. Sentry Ward placed. But then again, they've got to be close enough to reveal, and that's close enough. There's the ball. Beaters around the corner. Melk with the BKB. Looking for that black hole. Danny winding up with the elbow, but pull back into the black hole. The black hole over cancelled off by Melk. And Sasha Gray, he's in the middle as a ball. And Live of Fear with a double kill. It's just too much. Look at that right-click damage on the horse. He wants out again. There's the Ice Path. TB out by Assad, but already triple kill. Right-click one. Stormbill. Ultra kill for Fear. And EG. 10 Na'Vi, a new one, and Beaters wraps it up for a full team wipe. And that's going to be him picking up Puppey further down. This is possibly Rax.
The power of map control there, the ward spotting out the smoke. EG knew exactly where they were coming from, set up the central, and had the observe ward placed just a bit later, even though Na'Vi was already on top of them. That bottleneck choke point just set up Malk for a great black hole. Even when they're getting cancelled immediately, it just made it impossible for Dendy to do anything in that team fight. He doesn't have the survivability. Dendy was practically on the front lines.
Yep.
And EG now going to find themselves, like you say, possibly getting a set of Raxes at just 32 minutes in. They've been behind slightly all game as far as gold goes, but this hero composition of theirs can win any team fight in a location like that.
That's what Puppey would call a drastic change in the goal graph, man. Straight up in the air, and there goes your melee. Maybe they can think about fighting this. Puppey hitting with a couple of Wisp Spirits, Assad, a little bit of an Ice Path, Light of Heaven, still thinking about it, but then we have Warcry, we have Pipe, they retreat back out again, even an EMP Tornado just in case someone was looking to follow it through any further. And that is now bottom rack's gone, and Roshan is also up. EG might just pick it while they're walking past. Nope. But Na'Vi might do it instead. And that might give them what they need to get back into this. Because right now, even though Na'Vi were ahead, with that bottom rack's gone down, they're crippled. They're really crippled.
They'd love an Aegis on Dendy at this point in this game. He's just struggling to stay alive. He can get burst down immediately in a black hole in just the right-click damage from the Shadow, from the Sven. And as a result, he needs to have an Aegis. He needs to have that second life. During that respawn time, his team can try to buy him some space to get back into the fight. The problem for Na'Vi is they only have one hero who can really sustain himself in the fight in Havos on the Chaos Line. Apart from that, they've got Dendy, who's just a glass cannon, and then 3 squishy support heroes. The composition for Na'Vi just doesn't match up to what EG have to offer.
Man, another time Na'Vi have taken Roshan without EG even being able to stop him. It
comes down to some fantastic timing.
Yeah, fantastic timing and just fast damage. Fast damage coming out from Dendy. Because you're combining up that Deso, or you're going to add a little bit of Frost into it all. Whatever else you need, you've basically got that damage.
Well, here we go for EG. Having taken down that Rax, has won a big team fight. They're going to have a big level of items being stepped up now. Sven going to finish off his Daedalus. He's going to have that completed entirely. Malk, what's he got? He's got 1k gold. Nothing too much as far as progression from him, but Jo, he's just about finished off his Sheepstick. His Scythe of Vice is just 500 gold away.
This is a huge, dangerous time for Na'Vi. But if Na'Vi can find that quick opening, and really, if you look at that last engagement, Na'Vi got team wiped because they went into a trap. It was a full-ass trap. You knew, we could see it coming, but Na'Vi couldn't. The wards were perfect, they knew what was happening, and then all of a sudden, Melk is there with a BKB black hole going, who can I take out? There's no blink for Melk. He had to have some kind of advantage like that map control to give him that level of black hole, to catch out those 2 core heroes. But if that doesn't happen again, Na'Vi will start tearing through EG, and they will push straight back again. Their problem for Na'Vi, however, is they have to win 2 team fights. Because we've got tier 2s and tier 3s, tier 1 even still up in that middle lane, where Na'Vi, they've got 1 tier 2 tower left out on the top lane. Everything else is, well, bottom is completely gone anyway.
It's going to be a long, bumpy road for Na'Vi to come back in this game, and something that's just going to be, frankly, very difficult when you've got such a squishy lineup going into the late game against huge DPS coming out from Fear. Heroes like Invoker, Darkseer, Enigma, their teamfight potential is just going to really cripple Light of Heaven, Arsat on the Jakira, as well as Puppey on that Wisp. These 3 heroes just cannot have solid contributions come late game time, and EG, they pick up the Sheepstick now. They're going to have just some crazy item progression now. The only thing coming Na'Vi's way is going to be the Heart of Trask on Havos. He's also level 16 now. We will see the big ultimate doing a lot of damage, and that's one thing that they can use to try get damage through the BKB of Fear, damage through the BKB on Enigma. They just have to make sure Black Hole gets cancelled as fast as possible.
Yep. But that's a lot easier said than done. And now there's a lot of support coming in to stop Na'Vi from pushing out this middle lane. There's already 4 heroes sitting back behind that tower, and fortification also being used. Enigma going to come up and take care of the creep wave momentum. And we've got sentry wards again. It's amazing how many wards have been used in this game. I kind of wish that was one stat which was visible inside of Dota 2. Unfortunately, it's not. But the line's already been drawn, and that was actually drawn by Demon. They're not going to come out past this line, so we're going to go past that if you want to find Na'Vi. They're saying exactly on that part too. Everyone's just grouping up, making sure at least the Force getting a little bit more farm so he can finish up that heart finally, which now he does, and he buys out completely for this. No buyback available for him.
Yeah, it's all or nothing for Na'Vi at this point. They can't afford to hold back. If they have to use buyback to keep themselves in the fight, it's just a losing tactic because it means EG are winning fights, EG are getting further and further ahead, and for Na'Vi, they just have to buy out whatever they can on the Shadow Fiend, whatever they can on this Chaos Knight at this point in the game, and EG smoked up, sitting behind Fear at top lane, something Na'Vi most likely expect, but whether or not they can deal with it is going to be the big question. The tier 2 tower likely to drop uncontested, Na'Vi just trying to go for what trade they can at the mid lane.
Yeah, and this can be Horst and Poppy taking out the tier 1 tower in the mid. The fortification's already down, but EG, they've taken out that tier 2 and they'll keep on going. So it is going to be a tier 2 for a tier 1, and Na'Vi going to try and successfully defend. Poppy is going to have to ulti Horst in there. It's the only way he's going to get back in time. Light of Heaven caught in his heels. Denny trying to walk as well. He's got no TP, and maybe fortification forced out by Na'Vi. Not happening just yet. The Wisp Spirits, and it's going to be Horst jumping in behind. He wants Fear if he can lock him down, but at the end of the day, he cannot do it. Now Enigma starts off with the Malefist. BDIS wants to follow up as well. A little bit of Shadow Poison. Fear, Stormbolt goes out and Sasha Grey, and that's Horst hiding on the high ground. Poppy again. Oh, Reality Rift, it broke. He's still going to go with the Disruptions. Now Disruptions on cooldown. Not what BDIS wanted to do, and I think that's a freak out just then.
The hardest part for Na'Vi here is they want to have the CK and the Shadow Fiend, these heroes with BKBs on the front lines. They have to keep Lich as far back as possible to keep him alive, but they also need Lich close enough to cancel the Black Hole when the Shadow Fiend does get Black Hole.
Trouble, there's the Hex already going out, Horst back in again. It's a lot of damage from Fear. Phantasm now passed off. They can return some damage, but Fear just goes beyond godlike. Puppy will die from the fall of the tornado. So Geo picking that one up, and looks like Dendy disrupted up. We're going to have more Dendys trying to attack him, and the Cold Snap making it even harder for him. Arzab wants out, and Dendy, he's almost dying to this right now. Combining up that Cold Snap with already the Disruption Illusions. Fear wants back in again, looking for a stun. Line of Heaven will give him the mech charge, but this wall is still available. Arslan wants that Ice Path, might have to use it. Denny tries to blink away from the stun. Not possible. They've got to hold this top tower. They cannot lose another Rags here, Na'Vi. One raise, not going to happen. Hex from Geo. Cold Snap, Deafening Blast. No follow through because Arslan got absolutely perfect. Dual Breath onto 4. In fact, 5 in the end. And holding them out.
And Dendy just forced to just hold his ground. Despite how low he is, he knows he's got this Aegis and he does not want to give EG up this Rax. They've lost the tower already, but EG, they're playing this cautiously. Fear on the front lines doesn't have his BKB up.
Yeah, he's going to be really cautious. Dendy with 2 right clicks already doing a lot of damage, but that Purge slowing down Dendy. He wants to hold the line. How long we got before that Aegis? Actually, the Aegis is going to be reclaimed in about maybe 20 seconds time. And this is troublesome for Dendy, because if EG just keep this push going, and maybe they don't know. They might not have the calculation up.
They'll spot it out soon. And the other problem for Na'Vi is they've just lost a tier 4 tower. They haven't been defending and pushing out this bottom lane. This bottom lane has just been coming in, chipping away at these tier 4 towers, which the longer this game goes can cause Na'Vi some problems, as they really need to focus on pushing out these lanes, something they can't do when they've only got 2 heroes capable of doing that in the Shadow Fiend and Chaos Knight. And it's really just about, for EG, it's just about applying continual pressure, not giving Na'Vi a chance to breathe. Once they're ready to go, once they have their buybacks, they just sort of backed off now to regroup, get those items up, which they sort of haven't really had a chance to buy while they've been pushing, and they're going to go at Na'Vi very, very soon, especially as soon as they realize Dendy no longer has Aegis.
Yeah, so no Aegis for him, but he's starting to build up his Daedalus, and he's 1 recipe away. And the wonderful thing for Dendy, he can at least farm from inside his own base. Doesn't have to be too fearful of that. The downside for him, everyone else is looking for that farm. Line of Heaven stealing some, Arsar stealing some, and Dendy comes in and says, well, can you leave at least 1 for me? Not possible. And Puppy might just stop and say, guys, give Dendy farm. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Pause and resume.
Well, Na'Vi ready to go, but the question is, where do they go? There's just nothing they can do. They're really stuck on their side of the map. If they go for a smoke gank here, they have to worry about the bottom lane pushing in once again. Oh. They have to spend so much time pushing this out.
Maybe an opportunity. No, not possible. I thought maybe Arsart's timing would have been perfect to come down for an Ice Path and hold Fear in there, and a Vorce would have opened up on his ass. But it wasn't possible at the end of the day. Wondering too if Dendy's going to finish up. Like, what does he finish first? He's gone the crit. Might just leave the crit and go to Mana Star.
Well, he's had this Yasha for as long as I can remember. He got that before the Desolator, so he's quite happy just to sit on the Yasha. The Manta Style just not a good item against the Sven because he just cleaves through those illusions instantly. It's more against the single target disables. You can dodge stuns like a Vengeful Spirit, like a Chaos Knight, but there's nothing really in the game that he needs to be dodging with that Manta Style. Sven can just cleave through illusions, so decides the Yasha on its own a cost-effective item. He just wants to get up as much single target DPS as possible to rip through the BKB right-click dealers like the Sven, as well as the heroes like Enigma, who's just going to try pop BKB, get off a Black Hole. If Denny's not caught, he can kill that Enigma in just a couple of seconds.
Oh, there's a little bit of a stack right now. Assault Cuirass fully done on Sven. Using the Mask of Madness, he's getting a little bit of help as well from Demon walking around with that Vlad's. Hasn't finished up his Aghanim Scepter yet, but he's starting to build it, and 250 gold away, 2,500 gold away for that. And Fear, 2 clicks and crit wave's gone. This is going to be dangerous for Na'Vi to stop, but it's another damage-dealing item. Of course, the Assault Cuirass is going to help him as far as armor goes, but we know what Denny's build is for. It's meant to go straight through that and smoke up from Na'Vi. They got their own sentry wars. They're hoping that someone's going to come in a little bit too close, and a Vorst can jump in through the rear, but then Radiant, they've got their own sentry wars a little bit further down. They're looking for a Vorst behind.
They're expecting this smoke around more than anything. They've got sentry wards, also observer wards on the high ground hill, so they will see those heroes smoked up if they hovered over there, and there's no way Na'Vi can really come around from the side. Vorst, he's not aware of this. He's going to maybe walk into, once again, a trap planted by EG. EG have just used some fantastic strategical decisions throughout this game, and Na'Vi paying the price.
EG, what we said they couldn't play like they did in the group stages, and they're not. They're not. They're actually getting coordination. They're playing really, really smart, and they're playing to their strengths, and they're pushing Na'Vi in, and now Alacrity up on Fear. Let's make him attack even faster now. And Alsart, stunned, tried to go, and they're just going to force down the racks. Frost is there, Denny moving up, and Geo completely destroyed. There's your Black Hole. It picked up a Force, and there goes the Legion bouncing around, but there's 3 caught in the middle. Then we're going to go with the wall. It's already double kill for Fear, but he's being brought down bit by bit. Denny Oldie just takes out 2 more. Now moving on to Milk, but Fear is still here, and look at the damage! Ultra kill for Fear, and this is going to be a double buyback, and maybe Arsad, he picks up 2. They've lost the racks, but Denny wants to follow. Blink on cooldown, 8 more seconds, wants to chase it up. But Milk will TP out, and Demon can't do the same. But it's still a double racks against Na'Vi. But with the buybacks, they hold the line a little bit off just GG.
EG buyback right away. They want to go end the game right now. They're going to just march down this mid lane. They know that Na'Vi not ready to defend.
But
Ultimate's
they're
on
not going to get
cooldown.
there in time. They're looking for Roshan. That's got to be it.
It's also just the timing of this. Ultimate's on cooldown. There's no Shadow Fiend Requiem of Souls for 50 seconds. No Lich ultimate for a minute. They know this is their time to strike. No Chaos Knight ultimate for 80 seconds. So by buying back, they're going mid while it's not so much about Na'Vi being alive. It's about Na'Vi not having these ultimates, these key spells to defend. The only reason Na'Vi come close to staying alive there, they lose their racks, is they get a couple of kills at cleanup, but EG are going to get an Aegis, and then they're going to march down middle lane while Na'Vi are just not ready to defend.
Puppey trying to be a bit of a twit right now. Arsar can also make life a little bit more of a living hell through the Jawbreath and the Macropire. Forced out the mech, and they use the pipe as well, and they've used this before Dandy is going to arrive. Lich is here, no Alderman, Puppey, a Piglet, and a dead one of that. Getting stunned up and nailed. Arsad, again, might try and slow this down, but all he's going to do is slow. There goes Shajul Breath and the Ice Wall, and Beaters is sick of this. He wants him gone. Roshan is dead. Aegis the Immortal goes to Fear, and Demon able to pick up the cheese, and they're going to run through the bottom. Tornado catches one. A Vorce out of position, but quick BKB. But the BKB is now on cooldown.
That's the big loss there. Forces out the BKB, and while EG, they're just going to go straight to the mid lane. No Chaos Knight BKB. Going to make it so much harder for him to initiate in. Spells just like Malefice at this point. Stunning the Chaos Knight 3 times in succession can cause him so many issues, and Fear just going to pelt away at this mid tier 1 tower, and he is just going to get through this in just a matter of seconds with the Invoker damage being applied to him as well from the Alacrity.
Yeah, combine it up with his ulti, use the Alacrity, and go straight through the racks, maybe, a little bit of Frost. They're looking for the stun, gets on Arsar, but Fear mans up, tanks it up as well. BKB is still there for him, but he's wanting to let the Aegis the Immortal pop first, tries to right-click through Chaos Knight, and big leave! Ultra kill for Fear, and Vorce calls the GG. 1 cleave to kill them all. And Na'Vi are now down 1 game here.
Would you believe it? Na'Vi going down one game and EG just putting on a hell of a performance. The group stage team who struggled, but here they are. You put them up against Na'Vi and they're a team, EG, who just find a way to win against teams that on paper they shouldn't beat. But EG have what it takes. They've got this just veteran roster with so much LAN experience and everyone just played their role fantastic. EG from start to finish didn't really falter.
Yeah, it was a really amazing play from EG, and we kind of hope we'd see this Dota as well. This is amazing movements coming out from EG, and they're giving us that kind of control